All right. So, what's up, guys, and welcome to episode 4 of Coffee Table Convos. This is a big episode. For starters, my best friend Megan is on the show with us today, and it's our first video call. So, hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll be up on YouTube, and we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So, y'all, I never been too much tech savvy person, so that's a big thing. I keep hitting my microphone. That'll be fun. Anyways, as always, we're going to start with a thanks to First Form. So that's the supplement company that Megan and I both use. We both love it. Megan, what's your favorite product by First Form?
No, right now I think I'm loving the strawberry lime clear protein powder.
Yeah, that's always a good one. I've never tried clear protein powder before that one, and it's a game changer in the summer. But anyways, if you guys want to try your clear protein powder, we'll put a link in the show notes below and you can get yours. Without further ado, we're going to start this episode, which we're talking about is just going to be a glorified FaceTime call, so y'all are welcome. Um, anyways, so Megen White, if you don't have the privilege of knowing her, she has been my best friend for what, like 5-ish years now?
Yeah.
Something like that. We met at Bay Beach Emergency Hospital when we were both in Virginia Beach, which was, 2021 or 2. And she's also a teacher, and she started as a veterinary receptionist, and now she's a veterinary assistant, and also loves fitness too. So we're going to touch on all of those things today. All right, so first question. I'm so excited to finally ask this question. What is your go-to coffee order? Hi, Evie. We love you too.
Right now I'm really into like blueberry lattes. I think they're everywhere.
Ooh.
Like a good iced blueberry latte with almond milk, of course. So yeah, I think that's my summer go-to.
That sounds so good. I love like a blueberry or lavender type situation.
This is my cat Evie. She just joined the show, so
Little toothless, we love her. Poor Evie. All right, so I think we're gonna start with vet med and kind of how we met. I'll be honest, I don't really remember a time where we're just like, "Oh, you're my friend now." Like I feel like we just started texting one day and we literally have not stopped. Like I think you're like the only person I text every single day,
yeah, same,
which is
same.
crazy. So how long have you been working in vet med?
I want to say I'm going into year 5 of,
Okay, so yeah.
well, yeah, year, no, because I worked there a year before you came. So I would say 6 years. 6 years.
And you started as a receptionist and now you're an assistant. So tell us a little bit about that transition. What led you to that transition? What do you like more?
Quite frankly, not joined, but I wanted to be in vet med because of helping animals, and that's ultimately, I feel like, a lot of people's goal. Um, Doing reception, so I started reception when COVID hit, because the hospital was 5 minutes from my parents' house.
Mhm.
And sorry, let me turn those off really quick. Um, I started because the hospital was about 5 minutes from my parents' house, and um, I just was like something to do. I've always loved animals. Was volunteering at like the SPCA's when I was younger. I was always doing something with animals. Um, the switch happened because, quite frankly, I was tired of people. Um, Clients are a lot. Clients are a lot. We
Yeah.
Our goal is to be there to help them, but ultimately, I wanted to be in the back and I wanted to be the one doing treatments and helping animals.
Yeah, that's something I'll say is like people sleep on reception a lot. And
Hmm.
I never had a higher respect for that job than like working at Bay Beach. Because I mean, as an assistant, like we'll get some of the people, but not the full force of people, and literally like one of the worst times in their life.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, mad respect for that, but I can definitely see how you get burnt out very quickly. And we've had many a conversation about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so how has been like an assistant been? Yeah, tell us like,
That's good. It's fun. I mean, I've only ever worked emergency medicine.
mhm.
It's an adrenaline game. I mean, I unfortunately think deep down I am an adrenaline junkie, and um, we
I could have
have
told you that, sweetie.
we have two sides. So you have your triage and your ICU side, and I love both of them. ICU, you get to like sit down and take time and get to know the patient, and like you're treating them for 12 hours. Triage is a gambling game. You don't know what's coming through that door on a daily basis. It's been good. It's ultimately led me to want to go to tech school eventually down the road, and continue that career. But um, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. And yeah,
What's your favorite part? It could be triage or ICU.
I don't know. It depends on the day. I work triage a lot. A lot of my like assigned shifts are triage.
Hmm.
Um, but I occasionally, like twice a month, will get an ICU shift in there. Which is a good break sometimes because triage, you're just talking and talking and talking. So I sometimes do love just break from ice and go to ICU and hang out there for a little bit.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like, I did love triage, except when it was slow. I say that
Hmm.
cautiously because we all know
Hey,
if
I
you
don't have to
say,
work today, so it's fine.
okay, cool. So we can say all the buzzwords. Yes, we're very superstitious. If you say the word quiet or slow in an ER, somebody is going to look at you with the death stare. Um,
100%.
yeah, but that was always fun. I just got tired of refilling syringes all the time.
Well, now they're pre-made.
Oh, we've
Yeah.
upgraded.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sorry, Mabel wanted to come say hi too. She's very concerned.
Hey, Mabes.
Poor.
Maybelline.
She, you're in my headphones. She can't
Oh.
hear you. But she said Oscar's getting his neuter today, so she's all by herself.
Oh, poor girl.
I know. I can't tell if she's excited because she doesn't have a little like baby shark tearing at her ears every like 5 seconds. Um, but she's, yeah, wants a little bit of attention. Sorry, miss. What is your favorite memory of us working together? I feel like there's so many.
You sent me this, and I was like, I don't. Well, because when you worked there, I was still in reception.
Yeah. I just get two pictures in my mind, and it's the ones that you took of me, and I think it was probably my
The
last shift.
PPE, yeah,
Yep, in full
yeah,
PPE working on another
yeah.
parvo case.
I think that was the
Um,
day we had like three parvo puppies. They were all the same litter.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I
And
don't
then the one
know.
with the lady on the phone.
I forgot about that one.
The crystal
Okay, that's
lady on
probably
the
my
phone.
favorite. That's probably my favorite. Um,
Ooh.
okay, so to paint you a
Lay
picture,
down.
we had a Maltese mix poodle. I don't know. This thing was crusty,
No idea.
crusty looking. Um, this thing had been hospitalized. I think we were going on what, like 3 days of hospitalization,
Something like that. It was multiple days.
and mom was a lot. We appreciate owners. We Mom was a lot.
We do.
Um,
We do.
she decided she brought in crystals. There was crystals in this patient's
Hmm.
cage.
Yep, I
But
had to tape them. She bought a crystal and a necklace, and it couldn't just be in the kennel. It had to be taped to the side of the kennel inside.
I I think I need to find the photo and you like put it in this video because this was perfect.
Some
Um, Mom wanted an update. I took the call. It was Dr. Mueller at the time, who was the doctor, and I was just standing there, and I remember Mom asked to talk to the patient, and Renee's just holding the patient with the phone, and Mom was talking to the dog on the phone. That was a pretty great one. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I
Yeah,
forgot about that. That was pretty great.
yeah. I mean, it was sweet, and like I understand wanting to talk to your pet during that time. I just remember being so like overwhelmed with everything because of course, the one time that the owner wants to talk to the pet, you have like three things that are an hour behind on
Hmm.
treatments, and you're like running around. There's like two assistants for like 14 pets, and you're just like, I have to stop everything and hold the phone to this dog so the lady can tell it goodnight.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. When did you first ask this question? I ultimately thought about like not inside work, but just like outside work when our ritual was always we would make dino nuggets when we got home, and then we
Mm-hmm.
would just and this was like 2 in the morning. We would always be making dino nuggets and just we would debrief about our shift because we both saw different sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can always a good debrief over dino nuggets at 2
Oh,
a.m.
2 a.m. dino nugs.
Oh man, I want some dino nugs now. Oh yeah. And one thing that surprised me is like, well, we would see three or so parvo puppies in one shift. For those of you that don't know, parvovirus is a highly contagious virus that you mostly see in puppies, less than, but I mean, shoot, we saw it in a German Shepherd that was 2 or 3 years old once.
Mhm.
So, but they're usually puppies, like 8 weeks, couple months old. And it's a bad GI virus, like bloody diarrhea, vomiting, and all you can really do is, well, they have the monoclonal antibody out now, which has, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but
Yeah, we use it. We have it.
yeah, yeah, it works. We've learned about it, and it has really decreased what the care needed to get the dog
Mhm.
through the virus. So that's another great option. But normally it's just supportive care and a prayer, honestly. But you're
Yeah.
in like full PPE, like gloves, booties, a, a gown, like you have a boot wash in and out of the isolation room. But yeah,
And
at
you're like
school.
in there for hours. Like you're in
Hmm.
like you go in for isolation and you feel like, oh, I'm only going for like a minute, but by the time you full PPE up, you go in and then you're like, oh, it's top of the hour. I need to do full vitals. Um,
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
it's a
you
lot.
you go in there, like one assistant is assigned to isolation, and
Hmm.
when they go in there, they're in there for at least 30 minutes doing everything. Um, but yeah, our dog in for surgery week, like tested positive for parvo at the shelter before they got to our school. I probably should. Anyways, it was ended up negative for parvo. Like he was fine. It was just a giant misunderstanding. And but it's like we need to know these protocols.
Hmm.
Anyways, um, yeah, we could call a good old parvo puppy. Ugh. Probably the worst case, not of parvo, but I was very convinced it was parvo. It was after Bay Beach. I was at Greenbrier Emergency in Charlottesville, and this like Boston Terrier pit looking thing came in and bloody diarrhea, like ADR ain't doing right. I had to carry it in from the car. It was like white gums. And I parvo tested it negative. I was like, what do you mean it's negative? It's not negative. What do you mean?
It smells
So
like it. It looks like
I was
it.
like, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck,
Mhm.
it must be a duck. No, I tested it again, negative. I was like, the heck? We did a fecal float on it, hooks, rounds, whipworms, and I think it had fleas. I was like, that is the worst case of like GI parasitic and flea anemia I've seen ever. But yeah, nothing a couple blood transfusions can't fix. Oh man. What's been the craziest case that you can remember?
Case?
Hmm.
That's a lot. Like, what do you mean crazy? Like the treatment, the animal, what do you mean crazy?
Oh, um, hmm. I think of like this wasn't a case that I unfortunately got to work on, but I walked in on it. Do you remember? I don't know if you were there, but it was home invasion where it was like shotgun versus two dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one's hard. Um, let's hang on that one.
Okay. We can come back to
Craziest
that.
one? Oh, craziest one? No. Well, it was my most recent one. Um, it was a stabbing situation.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pity. Came in by animal control because it had attacked someone in the home. Um, and long story short, it was someone that shouldn't have been, that wasn't, didn't have full permission to be there. And then jumped on the guy. And then the girlfriend, to get the dog off of him, started stabbing him over and over again. So he had like wounds to the back of his neck, his sides, pretty bad. Also was probably my craziest one, but also one of my like saddest ones recently because we ultimately did euthanize, um,
Mm-hmm.
because of just how intensive his wounds were, and he had one in his chest, and we were worried about like a puncture to the lungs, everything like that. Um, but it was just crazy because this was the sweetest dog ever. Back in treatment, he didn't try to
Yeah.
go after me. So I think that's been one of the craziest ones. Another, sorry, now that we're talking about this, another crazy one is, so living in Virginia Beach, you have military everywhere. Um, some dumb military men were all over. They had a wife over.
Wait,
This
is
was
this
the
the
German
that one?
Shepherd one. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I have never been so
Uh-huh.
mad at an
hmm
owner. Oh my gosh. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Young military kid, like young, like
Hmm.
yeah,
I don't even, he
19.
wasn't even in the military. All of his friends
He,
were.
I thought he was in the military, and that's
Either way, it doesn't
because they
matter.
were in. Yeah. So everyone was over. He was messing around with a gun. Didn't realize that there was still a bullet in the chamber. And shot the dog ultimately. The dog came in. It was a German Shepherd. He was like a year old, very sweet.
She was so
So
pretty.
lucky, so lucky. It literally, because how, I don't know how he shot this dog because it was like a straight through.
Yeah. I would assume
Yeah,
like the dog was sitting down and
yeah.
the gun was like angled down.
Mhm,
Um, but that was the prettiest long-haired golden or
mhm.
German Shepherd that I've ever seen in my life. And I tell you what, thank God it was oh, I forget her name, that doctor. Thank God that she dealt with him because I
Mhm.
think I was livid.
Because
But the
I was
dog was
on that.
fine.
I was still in reception at that point, but when the dog came back, we were so short staffed. That's how I ended up in the back, and I was like holding
Yeah.
the dog, and I was just like, "Are we for real right now?" Like they were all young, just messing
Hmm.
around, and yeah. But the dog was
Yeah.
so lucky. It could have, because it exited through like the back of its skull. It could have messed that poor
Yeah.
puppy up.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
And we were all confused. Like we ran out there with a stretcher and everything, and this dog walked in. We
Yeah.
were like, "What? You were supposed to be a gunshot wound, and you're just walking in." Okay, I might have to put a disclaimer on this podcast.
Whoops.
Oops. Anyways, so what do you want your future in vet med to look like? What does it look like now? How do you balance it with teaching, honestly?
Um, Future wise, I long term goal is to become a tech eventually. That is not in
Mm.
the playing cards right now, though, because as Renee will tell you, I need to give some stuff up first before I take that on. Um,
So she's been listening.
yeah, so in emergency medicine, ultimately, until unfortunately it burns me out, will probably be what happens in the end. Um, but yeah, balancing teaching wise right now, I work, well, it's summer, so I work whenever I really want to. I have the luxury of making kind of my own schedule at the moment.
Hmm.
But during the school year, I work every Saturday, every other Sunday, and I'll pick up without within the week if I can. But typical schedules every Saturday, every other Sunday right now. I work 12-hour shifts. I don't recommend if you are new to joining the
Oh,
veterinary field. That's the quickest way to burn out. Like if you
yeah.
are highly considering it, working 12-hour shifts, ER, quickest way to burn out.
Hmm. Swing shifts, and everybody flocks to ER now. I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of people, at least in my school, they're all like, "Oh, I want to do ER or some sort of ER relief," and I'm like, I don't. One, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't necessarily agree with um, doctors straight out of vet school going into ER unless it's going to be like a specialty or they have like a really good mentorship program, but also like maybe relief work in ER and start full-time GP so that way you build your clinical skills, you build your foundational knowledge, and then make the jump to ER. Because I
Yeah.
feel like so many people just get burnt out in the first couple of years, and that's because you work these 12-hour shifts. You're like, oh, 12-hour shifts, 3 days a week? Great. Except you're going to get stuck on a swing and overnight shift, and then it always ends up being more than 12 hours because of that
Hmm.
one case you can't quite let go, the one dog that just came in. And yeah, so that's my unpopular opinion for today. But yeah, definitely, even as an assistant, like I worked at two ER hospitals before vet school, and after both of them, I seriously considered leaving the profession. It
Your
just
hours in Charlottesville were
uh, awful.
crazy. That was like an
It was
abomination.
awful. I hopefully I don't think they do that anymore.
I
Um,
would hope not.
I think yeah, I think I saw that they like merged with the specialty center that was right next door, which is honestly a smart option because you have a veterinary specialty center that shares a door with an ER and they're not the same thing. Even though of course we watched all of their patients at night. So, anyways, so I think they're like 24, they might be 24/7 now, which would mean a lot better. But yeah, 14 and a half hours overnight.
Insane.
0 out of 10 recommend.
Don't do
Just straight
it.
no. Just don't do it. That overnight, what is it? Differential. Ain't,
No,
don't
not worth
don't do
it.
it. Not worth it. Oh, anyways. So this is a good segue into teaching. So what exactly is your job title and how did you get there?
I am a special education teacher. I currently work in an adaptive setting. So for people that don't know, you have like multiple levels of special education. You have inclusion, which means it's their least restrictive environment, which is where every kid should be. But with inclusion, they get to go into the same classroom as their same age peers with support pull-out minutes. Um, Adaptive slash self-contained is those students are in my classroom pretty much all day, every day. and maybe go out for a few hours with their same age and ed peers. Um, Special or adaptive, you are on a adaptive made curriculum. It is just a lot of like life skills, like functioning, emotional regulation. Self-contained is the modified general education curriculum. Um, yeah, I love special education. I have always, I'm a military brat. I grew up traveling a lot. I was born in Puerto Rico, and the first people that we met there, they have a daughter. Her name is Sam. She is high functioning autistic. So that was what ultimately led me to become a SPED teacher. Um, she and it just miracle. Everywhere we moved, they also got to move. We were all kind of stationed together. They also live in Virginia Beach now. Keep in touch with them pretty regularly. We got very fortunate that like they were people and friends we made along the way with the military moving. Um, I How did I get here? I went to school. um, I started at Longwood University up in Farmville, Virginia. It is a tiny town. If you love the tiny town feel, go for it. Um, it wasn't a tiny town because I I tell people I'm from Arkansas as well. All of my family's down there, so I'm used to the small town feel. I'm used to just that. But Farmville was a lot of you had to be in a sorority or you made no friends. So I unfortunately experienced that as a freshman. I was working, because I put myself through college. I was working at Buffalo's Wild Wings. I was a server there. So that was fun. And then COVID and everything. So I came home, and then I went to ODU, Old Dominion University, which is in Norfolk, Virginia.
Cool. And you
It's
just graduated in May, right? Or has it been a year since then? Such a
been a
time.
year. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Well, you kind of answered all my questions there. So,
Oh, sorry.
what? Fine. What does a normal like day look like in your classroom? Is there a
Depends on the
such
day.
thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Depends on the day. A lot of my students that I work with are also extreme behaviors.
Mhm.
So honestly, it depends on what mood that they came in that day. Um, Sometimes I can spend more of my day having to help them self-regulate. And then some days I get to actually teach more. Um, they come in, we do breakfast, we do a morning meeting, and then we just kind of get right into it. A lot of small group is done, because I have students of very varying needs. So it's just kind of I describe it to people as like it's a hangout party with some education happening, because it ultimately is at the student's pace and the student's level. If they don't want to work that day, I'm not going to push them because I ultimately don't want a chair thrown at me. So, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, unless it's Morgan Wallen, so
that part.
what can you do? Sorry, I'm terrible at jokes. What's your favorite part about your job?
It's honestly the kids. Like I
Yeah.
love seeing them and the strides that they make and the growth that they make. It's ultimately a little bit different for me, because I measure progress different than like a general education teacher would. Um,
Mhm.
but just seeing them like if they have a task box of doing put in or matching, um, seeing them get that, like seeing it click, it's just pretty amazing. And not everyone, I have a few students that are nonverbal and can't express themselves using words, but you watch their body language, you just watch them, and you can tell that they're happy. And it's really, I do it for them.
Yeah. So cool. And that's cool. I just like drew this parallel between like vet med and what you do as a teacher is you're basically trying to care for things that can't tell you what they want. They can't
Yeah.
like express, and you just have that innate ability to be able to understand what they want when they can't express it and then help them with that. That's pretty awesome. What would be some advice you would give to somebody who is looking to get into teaching? Maybe they're in their undergrad, kind of still in that I don't know what I want to do phase.
I once was you. I when I was younger, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. Um, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a vet. That was another goal of mine. But then I was like, that's a lot of school. I did not want to do that many years of school.
Touche.
Um,
Touche.
but I also didn't want to be a teacher because, to be honest, we don't make money. We don't make much money, which comes down to me having a second job. Um, but I mean, it's going to be the most rewarding thing that you can do in life. You're literally helping mold the next future of humans. Like, they're going to be adults and they're going to be the one in making decisions when we're old and in nursing homes. But it's very fulfilling and it's very rewarding, and you are making a difference and you are making a change.
Beautiful. All right, so to kind of pivot off of that, kind of going into our more fitness based portion of this, I'm going to brag on you for a little bit. I feel like, oh, I'm just so excited. So you recently got a full scholarship to Achieve It Athletics, which is so exciting. So if you guys don't know what Achieve It Athletics is, shameless plug to Callie Robinson. She is she is kind of the owner and founder and coach of that program, and she did like a scholarship opportunity, and Megan applied for it, and she got the full scholarship. So tell us a little bit about of that experience, getting that scholarship, and what made you want to apply for that program specifically.
Yeah. First off, they're phenomenal people. Callie is amazing, phenomenal. Um, I've always followed her. I mean, I learned about Callie because of you. But follow her on socials. I love what she puts out there. Just great. My coach is her name's Zoe. Um, she is actually new to Achieve It as well. But she's great as well. It is hard because they all are on the West Coast, so they all are on different
Oh wow.
times.
Okay.
But it's been good. I got this. It's 6 months long programming. Um, and you do weekly check-ins. So you do weekly body weigh-ins, and then you take progress photos. And right now I'm on 4 workouts a week. With like I have a upper and a upper comes with upper body comes with core, and then lower body is with cardio. So I've been doing I'm 4 weeks in. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been doing about the same lifts for about past 4 weeks. And it's just a really supportive group um, of women. I think it's all women. There are like some men, but I have not really seen them active in the group chat because we're on Circle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just also supportive, and everyone has different goals, which is amazing. But I mean, everyone's same goal is to better themselves. You have some people that are in like the bodybuilding track. um, Definitely not. But um, you have like the bodybuilding track, just like the running track, and just like the bettering yourself track. um,
Yeah.
yeah, I
I think
I
that's
wanted.
awesome.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, the community aspect of it is huge in any fitness
Yeah.
endeavor. Just like being able to talk to people of the same mindset, going through the same things as you, even though you might not be physically close, but just I know community is something that you and I both hold very dear.
Yeah.
So I'm just so happy for you to be able to get that.
Thank you.
course. So I know this because I know you, but I know before that you started doing CrossFit. So how has well, first tell us a little bit about your CrossFit journey, and then how is that like transition going into Achieve It? Because I know they're more or less like bodybuilding type, which is great. And they also have like the lifestyle track, but how do those two fit together?
Yeah. Um, First time I went to a CrossFit class was when I was visiting Renee. It was me, Zach, her husband, and her in-laws. One of my favorite pictures is us after, and her father-in-law's in the background on the ground.
Yeah, you got a good one.
So that was that was December of 2025, 2024, 2024. December
Yep.
2024, because I was
Hmm.
visiting like right up until the New Year's. I came home and um, Brooke, she's a firefighter. We childhood best friends. We've grown up. She started going to CrossFit, um, and she was like, "Hey," like I was telling her about it. I was like, "I had a really great trip with Renee." I was like, "I love this," and because beforehand I had been lifting, just like periodically lifting, and I was never like set on it. I was never consistent with it. Um, and I was not seeing any progress, the progress that I wanted to see. So I was like, it was hard, but I loved it. Like we talked about, adrenaline junkie, and I unfortunately get that from lifting really heavy things over my head. Um, so I have been doing it for about a year and a half now. I went with Brooke for a few classes. I was kind of doing drop-ins, and I finally made the decision. Was it February?
I think
Maybe
so.
No, it was like in March. It was March. It was later. Who knows?
Oh
But
no.
yeah, the transition has been different for me, for sure. Zoe's supportive of me doing both, but obviously not trying to overdo it right now. So
Yeah.
typically I will go to the 5 a.m. class if, well, it's summer, so like 7 a.m. class.
Hmm.
And then I will go lift immediately afterwards, or vice versa. Sometimes I'll get a lift in and then I'll go to CrossFit. Um, but there's been some change that needs to happen, and I think this is kind of what's helping that change happen. Not going too in depth with it, but I just am battling some things with where I'm at with CrossFit right now. And I think Achieve It has been a great help transitioning out of it. Like I know I don't have to rely just on CrossFit, but yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I am a huge advocate for CrossFit, clearly, but I'm a even bigger advocate for like doing the fitness that you find is fun. Like if you're killing yourself every day in CrossFit just thinking that like, oh, I have to spike my heart rate to over 200 to get any sort of results, then that's not it. And if you're getting burnt out and you're not like if you're not enjoying it, then you're not getting anything out of it.
No.
And yeah, so I fully support like transitioning, and I'm so glad that they have been able to help you with that transition. And you're honestly doing so well. Like I can, I don't know, I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Um, I don't think, going back to it kind of a little bit, but like CrossFit is not something I'm ever gonna give up. And I think it's just more where I'm at right now is not where I'm at right now. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Um, so I just,
And that goes back
mm,
to the community aspect of it.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
The community is hard, and that's a big part of it, and
mm,
that's what I want. And um, unfortunately, like seeing friends leave the gym and things like that is hard. Um, but I mean, I also know like I don't have to go to CrossFit every day because I have these workouts that I can do.
mhm,
But yeah.
yeah. And that's the biggest thing with like CrossFit gyms too, is like I think the biggest impact is the community. Like you show
Hmm.
up, you don't have to plan your own workout. There's a coach there to help you, and you get a workout with a bunch of people. And don't judge one CrossFit gym by another. You could
Yeah.
have one really good one and one not so good one, but don't let the one not so good one keep you from going to the one really good one. So, yeah, what has been the biggest positive impact for you on this whole fitness health journey?
I don't know. I think you and I had this conversation the other day. I think I'm starting to see like the change myself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just like I, hmm, sorry, I'm trying to think about how to like word this. Um, just like physically, I'm seeing a change. And I'm proud of myself for continuing to do it, and it's not something that I gave up. Before like when I was in high school, I played softball, very religiously. I was always at softball. I played travel softball, high school softball. Um, and then I kind of got lost whenever I went to college because I was like, what do I do? Like I was like, I'm not playing
Mm-hmm.
softball in college. Um, and then you start doing things in college and just you're like, okay, whatever. And unfortunately for me, health and fitness was not my top priority when I was in college. And just kind of like scraping by, just doing bare minimum. Most workouts were walking to class, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, I think most proud that I just am doing it and I didn't give up on it. And I realized I wanted to change for myself and I'm making that happen.
Yeah, that's huge. I'll say one of the hardest things is like recognizing those changes yourself, especially like physically,
Hmm.
because I feel like other people will see the change before you will ever acknowledge it. And then it's so easy to get down on yourself and to stop before, like to stop just even though you're making progress, but you convince yourself if you don't see it. But yeah, and I completely understand that. Like once you lose the rigidity of athletics, it's so hard to find something that you like that almost fills that gap again. Like, yeah, I was in the same boat. I quit doing track in the middle of college, and going to a conventional gym was like, oh my gosh, I hated it. I hated it so much.
Hmm.
But yep, well, it's so good that you found that community and that health and fitness is becoming a priority again, and you're feeling better and proud of yourself for it. How do you see God working in your life through all of this right now? It could be anything, it doesn't have to be like fitness based.
I think for me, I have trusted him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I am learning to let go of the reins and he knows what he's doing. Um, I honestly, he's the reason I got Achieve It. He's the reason I got the scholarship. That's what I truly believe. Like that was his plan, his purpose. I talked to Callie about that too. I was just like, I prayed on this, and this was like what because I've never won anything, and this was like an amazing thing for me. But um, just like trusting him right now, a lot of things, and just kind of letting go of like the reins a little bit.
The that's it is kind of insane. Like that has to be a God moment for the scholarship because I mean you see people that win giveaways online and you're
Um,
like, that could never be me, and then you win like the biggest giveaway ever. And so you're just like, well, it's got to like, okay, I'm supposed to do this. It would
hmm.
be insane otherwise. So that's awesome. And I understand the feeling of like trying to let go of the reins. That is a lot easier said than done. Trying to trust that he's got a plan and that he knows the best timing and just really being obedient in the day to day life. I know it's
Hmm.
excruciating, but awesome. All right. Do you have any advice that you would give starting out in vet med, teaching somebody's faith journey, fitness journey?
Cliche, Nike slogan, but just do it. Honestly,
Yeah.
stop holding yourself back. I think that's like another big thing is I held myself back for so many years because I was scared of people's judgment and what they thought.
Hmm.
Renee recently talked about imposter syndrome in her last podcast, and that was a big part of a lot of things and a lot of decisions I missed and a lot of opportunities that I missed. But just do it. Go for it. If your heart feels inclined or you feel called to do something, just do it.
Yeah. I mean that's what it boils down to. Like that last podcast on imposter syndrome. Yeah. Shoot. I can't tell you how many things or years that I missed out on something because I was too scared to do it. One of my favorite things to say now is like, don't spend too much time in the preparation phase that you forget the action and reaction, or you don't have any time for the action and reaction phase. So, like, if you're spending so much time trying to prepare for every single outcome of a decision, but you forget to actually make the decision and allow that time to have the reaction to it, you're never going to achieve anything. You're just going to be anxious about literally everything. And
Yeah.
the Bible calls us not to be anxious about anything. So, yeah. Well, that's all I have, friend. Do you have anything else that you would like to say?
No.
Well, thanks for being my first podcast guest ever. I wouldn't have wanted it to be anybody else. So, random question time. Okay. Um, if you were president for a day, what
Oh
would be
man.
something that you would change? It doesn't even have to be politically related. Just if you had the power to enact
The
anything
lack
for a
of
day.
dairy-free items.
Yeah.
Literally, like
Mandate dairy-free items in every
everywhere
grocery
in
store.
public situations. I need you guys don't really know me. I have been like completely dairy free for like 6 months, and it has been the hardest change of my life. Especially like going out to eat and things like that. Finding
Yeah.
places. Finding good dairy free stuff too. Why does it all taste like plastic?
Yeah. Or it's all like oil.
Uh,
So, yeah.
I can't eat dairy free cheese. So like I've not found a good one. If anyone has any recommendations, please let me know. Because literally the aftertaste of dairy free cheese, oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. But yeah, if I was
I'm
president for a
wondering if
day.
it's more dairy-free things. I'm wondering if
Mhm.
it's gonna be like gluten. Like before, shoot, even what, like 10 years ago, you couldn't get anything gluten-free, and now
Mhm.
everything's
It's
gluten-free.
everywhere, but it's all like
So,
chock full of sugar. But that's another.
I mean, but it's gluten-free, Megan. It's
Yeah, oh,
gluten-free.
sorry, my bad. My bad.
We're not gonna talk about all of the other things that are in it, but it's gluten-free.
Yeah, it's labeled gluten free. I don't.
It,
You
oh,
would have known me because I was younger. I went through a phase where I was like, I'm gonna give up gluten because I think that was probably when it like became really big, and I was like, I'm gonna give up
mm.
gluten because that's healthy. And no offense to my celiac like disease people out there, but if you read the back of a package of stuff, I was
Well,
like bread.
we could go into a whole tangent about marketing. Oh man, because people label it gluten-free, and then it's we've been programmed. I'm not a
Oh,
conspiracy theorist, but if I had to be, we get like programmed to believe that like gluten-free is healthy, high protein is healthy. But
dude,
oh my gosh.
Pop Tarts having protein in them now.
I don't even know. Kroger? I can't walk around Kroger without getting like mad. So I'll be just minding my own business, grocery shopping in Kroger, and a loudspeaker announcement will come on, and it's like talking about, oh, if you're on a GLP-1, our dietitians will help like curate your high protein diet with like mac and cheese and something else. And then I see at the very front of the store, there's protein Kroger brand everything. You get protein like cereal, you get protein oatmeal. I'm like, this is just the biggest marketing scam ever. Like, you tell people to be on these GLP-1s, then you say, oh, wait, we also have a dietitian that'll go through all of your meal plan for you and then slap the word protein on everything.
If anyone wanted to look at what true Renee and Megan are, these are how our conversations mostly go.
Yeah, this is it. We were going to end the podcast, but no, we had to talk about it. We had to talk about it. Yeah, the biggest psyop in this entire country is on our food. But it's okay. What do I know? Nothing, apparently.
Oh,
Well, on that note, I'm so thankful that you came on here and shared your story because you've been such an influential part of mine. But I guess we'll chat with you later, buddy.
okay. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.